Good morning, YouTube. My name is Ashley. You may have seen some of my videos before. Today I wanted to talk about relationships. And why I want to talk about relationships is because to me, I feel it's one of the most important things that most people want in their lives to be happy, whether it's with themselves, a partner, a friendship, any type of relationship at some point is required, especially the one with yourself. If you don't want to be with anyone or don't want any friends, that's completely okay. But you still have to have that pertinent, strong relationship to yourself. And those are the things I want to talk about. The three things that I found in my experience that I've needed to cultivate and grow to have those successful, strong, growth-filled relationships. And I'm going to pull from my experience with my husband, who I've been with for over 10 years now. And let me tell you, we have seen and been through some stuff. So I'm not just talking out my butt here. I will give you examples from our relationship as well. But the three things that come to me right off the bat are your relationship to yourself. That is so key in any relationship, the foundation of any relationship. Because if you don't have a good relationship to you, then you're looking to other people to fill that hole, to fill that void. And that's never going to happen. That could happen for a couple months, maybe 6 months, that honeymoon period of a relationship, or bursts and spurts here and there, but it will never be a lifelong thing, and then when that person fails to meet those needs in you, man, are they the asshole. And I have been there, and I still go back to it time after time with my husband. And sometimes, yes, they can be the asshole. Why not? But truthfully, if you want a long-standing, good, truthful relationship, you have to know yourself and you have to love yourself. And that may sound corny or cliche, but if you can't handle being with yourself, then why would anyone else want to be with you? You have to be that loving, caring, kind person, not that needy, impulsive, whiny, complaining, do everything for me and make me happy person, because that is nobody's job except your own. And that might seem harsh or like, no, that's not true. My husband, wife, partner, best friend is supposed to do all these things for me and make me feel this way. But that's where the problem lies. And that's an unfair requirement put on, or expectation put on, that person in the relationship. They are not meant here to fulfill your needs. They're only here, every human is here to fulfill their own needs. And if everyone was capable of doing that, then the world would be a much better place. So that is my number one tip, is that you need to have a core, good, strong value relationship with yourself before you can reach out to anyone else to make you feel certain things. 2, you need to be able to communicate your feelings and be vulnerable, which can seem terrifying. And because I'm very sure a lot of you, just like me in the past, had been, and I'm talking about the past when you were young, you had been open and vulnerable and somebody shit on you, like crushed you for expressing yourself, saying what you needed or wanted. So now you learn to close that part off, and it is very difficult for you to say, hey, I feel this way when this happens, and I need this, this, and this. It's very easy to say, hey, you motherfucker, you hurt me, and I'm gonna get you back now, because I'm not gonna show you that you hurt me, because that's just way too vulnerable. And I have been there as well, and let me tell you, drinking that poison to try and harm that person never works. Never. It only backfires and only makes you feel worse after time. The only thing that helps is doing the thing that is most uncomfortable and sitting there in your own feelings and understanding why you feel that way. And then again, going back to point number one, being that person that can heal that in you. And my third point is kind of ties to the second one, is how do you repair a relationship after a breakdown or a fight? Are you able to be open and vulnerable and go up to that person and say, hey, can we have a chat right now? And not flip out, not bring back up the issue, but only state how you feel, how you felt when I felt really hurt when you ignored me. Not you ignored me and you're this and that. It's always about you and how you feel. And if that person is willing and able to, they can give you some sort of help to the best of their ability. But again, it's not up to them to tell you, you're right, I'll never do it again because you feel hurt. That's not their responsibility. What they can do is acknowledge how you feel and address their behavior and say, I'll try my best to be more receptive to your feelings, and that when I do this, it hurts you. But in the end, it is still up to you to go back and heal why, when your partner is on their phone all the time, you have this rage boiling up in you and you want to just grab their phone and smash it on the ground. And no, that has never happened to me before. Being ignored for me is a huge thing because I was often ignored. And I then tended to do stuff to get attention. And my husband is someone who becomes uber focused on what he's doing, whether that's his phone, work. He only has that focus, which is, I think, a good thing, to give your 100% focus to something. And at times I still, if I'm already feeling down or I haven't checked in with me and how I'm feeling, and then I look to him and his attention to make me feel better, then at times I can still say, hey, like, what is your problem? Why can't you give me your undivided attention so I don't have to feel lonely and ignored and abandoned? And that might throw some of you and be like, whoa, no. Like, and I've said this again. I said it before and I'll say it again. If you can be the person who doesn't need anybody in that sense to fulfill your emotional needs, then you're winning. It's called your goat is ungettable. Nobody can harm you by their actions, by what they say or don't do. And then how good would that relationship be if you could just be yourselves around each other and not have to tiptoe or say things that make them feel good all the time, because if you don't, then it's going to be your fault that they don't feel good. That to me was a huge thing. And the first thing is looking at yourself and realizing in every fight and every argument, you have to be able to look at it and say, okay, what did I bring to this? There's always two parts, but what did I bring to this to attract this? And what could I do moving forward to have it not blow up that way? And for me, in my experience, it has always been communication. Before you get too mad to say anything. And if you get too mad, that's fine. Take a break. But if it's just starting to trigger you, we can take a step back and go sit with yourself for a minute and address it. And then if you can calmly go to that person and say, hey, do you have a minute? And they do, to have that open communication to try and solve it. Side note, if you are in a relationship with someone, a boss, a partner, anybody, a parent, who you cannot have a safe conversation with in a safe space, that is not a good time to have one of these conversations, because it won't leave you feeling better. You'll probably end up feeling worse. And it's not a space to grow in. So maybe you have to relook at that relationship and why you're dealing with this person. Or again, get to the point where you don't need that person's validation or approval to feel better. You can say your piece in a calm, respectful manner, and then that's it. I don't need you to say sorry for what you did for me to heal. And that may seem like a stretch, and it does for me, even in some aspects of certain relationships. But at this point, the main thing is, if you feel safe to talk to someone, you have to tell them how you're feeling. You can't bottle it in, because it's not up to them to guess what you want and what you need, and that's not fair. And if both people can be responsible for their own feelings, and when those feelings get hurt, to then come together, if they're both willing to work on them and help each other, then that's the best. In my opinion, what I've gone through, that is the best way to grow a relationship and build trust. So I hope you like this video. I don't know how long it is. If you do, let me know and I can make some more, because I'm realizing that this is a topic that I know quite a bit about, not in a professional manner, but having gone through it myself, which I feel is the best type of experience. So I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.